Future Makers is a programme of digital making events across 5 of our museums at galleries, at Tynemere Archives and Museums. What we wanted to do with Future Makers was to evoke the spirit of the pioneering creators, artists, designers whose work we showcased by encouraging the public to come in and not just see the objects but actually engage them in the process of how they came about.
The kids have the opportunity to imagine what is the future of this. It's making the objects which are here, which are like culturally really relevant, they're making it even more relevant because I'm taking something which exists and make something better out of it, or build up on that what I've learned here.
We have a really strong, internationally important design collection at Shipley Art Gallery, and using little bits of technologies, we enable these audiences to come in and design wearables of the future using electronics and circuitry and digital technologies.
You get to design your ideas and use your imagination to make different things.
What we hope with this workshop is that these young audiences, they don't just think of the Shipley Art Gallery as a place in which objects are showcased, but they think of it as a space in which they can come and build and make and create and really engage with the process of design as well as understanding its history.
We're going to take a load of different bits of data and information from the museum. These might be pictures, they might be historical records of things that have happened on the railway network, and let people loose on that and see what kind of amazing things they build.
What they're trying to do is actually bring those data sets to life. What you definitely get is people representing this data in new ways that perhaps you wouldn't think of.
Newcastle has a fantastic history of industry and technology and invention, and I think one of the things is, like we're looking to foster a future generation of inventors. Hopefully this will spark an interest in technology and making things and understanding science that runs through the collection here. So, and the history of that, and find out about the local history of invention, I guess.
This is a scientific museum. I like musical stuff and I also like technology, so I thought, why not come along to this event?
It's epic! That's simple! It's just epic!
At the Great North Museum Hancock, we worked with Shelley Knotts, who is a sound artist, to run 2 workshops using Sonic Pi technologies. So the students who came learned how to use Sonic Pi and to work with data sets from the collection and how they could turn these natural history data sets into sound. It was a way of introducing not just Sonic Pi and enabling them to kind of learn new skills. It was about a different way into the collection, understanding the potential of the collection not just as kind of an educational resource but as a creative tool, not just work with the one discipline that they may be comfortable with. We wanted to really kind of free up their thinking about the potential of the collections that we have there.
The boys are big on Minecraft at home. They spend a lot of time doing it, and I thought it would be nice for them to actually use it for something practical and an educational purpose instead of just running around blowing things up, putting sheep everywhere.
As much as possible, we're trying to encourage them to kind of be creative, to assume the role of a digital archaeologist and a digital architect, but also to kind of imaginatively think about how life could have been lived, the buildings in which they could have inhabited.
We're using Minecraft to allow them to express themselves and explain how they would live as a soldier, and look at the barracks that they'd live in and look at the lifestyle of the Roman. So it allows them to apply their personality to history and also live it in a much more in-depth way.
I think there's a lot of kids that might not really see anything else than just classic art when they think about a museum. So that's a really cool thing about Shipley, that they're arranging something like this, so the kids can have a whole new way of looking at objects and art and, yeah, this space.
I think a lot of people are put off by the idea they're just going to go somewhere and see things in a glass case, and their kids are just going to be bored and dragged out for the sake of it, and having things like this makes it more accessible and I think more engaging and entertaining for people who are going to come out and see things.
I wouldn't do something like this normally, but it's been cool because I never really get to do things like this. It was very fun.
It was good for me because I've never been here before. I've never actually been to the Discovery Museum. We're going to make an afternoon of it as well, so have a look around at the other exhibitions and see what else is on.
We want our museums and our galleries to be spaces where playful experimentation happens. It becomes a regular thing in our buildings, So the process of inventing, the process of design and making and of rebuilding and of reconstructing, they actually happen. They are authentic to the museums and galleries that we have here. It's important that with Future Makers we challenge public attitudes to what museums and galleries are for in the digital age.